Kim knows that I love her because she is who she is and she makes no bones about it. This is who I am. If I dress like a hoe, I want to be, and I'm proud of it.
Did you hear what she said? She just called Lil' Kim a hoe, and the audience didn't like that. But Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. I mean, she's sitting here naked out, everything out. So she said it.
Two national personalities who might be able to help answer that question if you have it. You know him from Yo MTV Raps and Hot 97 FM. She also is on Hot 97 FM and E! Entertainment Television. Please welcome Ed Lover and Lisa G. Come on in, folks. Hey, darling. Good to see you. Have a seat. Now, Ed, do you guys, Lisa, do you play these
Did y'all expect Lisa to look like that?
explicit sexual songs on your radio?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. And Ed, you say it like you're proud of it.
We play clean versions.
Clean versions.
And if there's not a clean version, we do our own edit to make sure that it's a clean version.
And we also talk about the lyrics. If we think something's a little racy, I know Ed and I enjoy.
What I've learned in modern day reality is that women don't mind dressing like 304s. They want to dress like 304s, but they don't want to be called 304s, even though they're wearing the uniform. Is that fair to say?
And we talk about the lyrics of the song.
Let me just ask you, and Lil' Kim is only because you're here. I'm not picking on you, but I just need to get a good example because you can respond, so we can keep. Do you have to doctor up Lil' Kim stuff? I mean,
you doctor up Kim's like you was a surgeon.
But you want to know what they are good to me because Ed calls me at home and say, Kim, keep up the good work. When they stop talking, then you worry.
That's
but
right.
But they also do what's right. Like he said, they do have a clean version.
Answer this for us all. Just looking at an overall view, how has Lil' Kim, in terms of all the music, how does she stand out in this music? I mean, is she known as one of the most explicit? How does she?
No, she's no more explicit than her male counterparts are.
There is a difference. I know that may sound, I guess bias or whatever, or contradiction. I get it. But I think there is a difference. I know, you're comparing male lyrics to women's lyrics. To me, there is a difference. But that's not a strong argument. So I'm not going to use it here. But just in my opinion, I do think there is a difference.
And Kim is nothing more than what Millie Jackson was. She's outspoken and she stands up for the rights of women, and I applaud her for being have enough courage to be that verbal.
That's the thing, Rolanda. And Lil' Kim knows that I love her because she is who she is and she makes no bones about it. This is who I am. If I dress like a hoe, I want to be, and I'm proud of it.
Did you hear what she said? She just called Lil' Kim a hoe, and the audience didn't like that. But Exhibit A.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. I mean, she's sitting here naked out, everything out. So she said it. Let's go back. Hold on.
Lil' Kim knows that I love her because she is who she is and she makes no bones about it. This is who I am. If I dress like a hoe, I want to be, and I'm proud of it.
Whoa, did you see Officer Davis's face and Robert?
At the same time, you
she didn't like that. See, so she don't mind dressing like that and singing like that. But if somebody calls her a hoe, a 304, she's like, oh, hold on now, you going too far. But you committing the act of a 304. So people are going to refer to you as such. You see that? So yeah, now everybody is like, hold on, you just called Lil' Kim a hoe, or 304. Don't get shy now. Don't try to church it up now.
Don't try and church it up, son. Don't you mean Joe Dirt?
you know that if you listen to Little Kim album, this is what
You hear the audience?
you're getting. So, you know, you can't fault her for that.
I think hoe was such a good word to use.
You see that now? See, Ed Lover, he was supporting it. He was like, oh man, I don't think hoe was such a good word. Why though? What you got to be ashamed of? Well, what are we doing here? What's going on? It's like that Dave Chappelle stand-up. You know, just because I'm dressed this way, like, you know, if you dress as a cop and somebody come asking you for help, like, just because I'm dressed this way don't mean that I'm a cop.
She got half her ass hanging out her skirt. Damn, look at them titties. Right? Just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a whore. Now that would be like me, Dave Chappelle the comedian, walking around the streets in a cop uniform. Officer, help us. Come on, they're over here. Help us. Just because I'm dressed this way does not make me a police officer.
Like, no, that's not how this shit work. Like, if you dress like that, half naked, the way that women dress today and the way that Lil' Kim was starting to dress, that was typically used for women of the night, midnight ballerinas and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how they used to dress. So now every woman is dressing the same way as street life ladies used to dress. And they're like, well, I'm not like them. Well, how we know? Shout out to Illosophical. He said that. He's like, man, y'all standing right next to him. You dressing like him.
The real woman is standing too close to the hoes, so we don't know the difference until we start talking to y'all. No, listen. I met a lot of women. It don't mean, I don't care if they from the hood. I don't care if they got two parents. They interests are the same. Y'all gotta stand far away from the hoes because y'all dress like them. Y'all wear the same shit they wear. Right. Y'all listen to the same music they listen to. And y'all stand for the same shit they stand for. In most cases, not you, baby, but in most cases, the real women got too much in common with the hoes.
How men supposed to know you different if you got the uniform on? It didn't used to be like that. If you seen a woman half naked, you like, oh yeah, she's selling that thing. Now, social media, y'all saying that you not like that, but you acting like them, begging for money and shit, transactional. So that's why people 304 culture. It's whole TikToks where they got women teaching women how to be 304s.
If you are trying to book a 304 and you wonder, why doesn't she do AA clients? It's because typically AA clients are the worst clients that you will ever have. It does not matter if you work by yourself or if you have folks. Everyone says the same thing about AA clients. Now, I also think that AA clients are the worst, but my best client was 3 years younger than me, and he was AA, but he was a professional football player, so he's in a whole different league.
I'll call you a honky in a minute. And one day when y'all find out what the word honky means, you're gonna vomit. See, prostitution is for white men. Okay? Somebody said, no, black men, no, she my sister, I get that bitch for free. Huh? Tell me about what it is. Huh? And all the whorehouses was in the black community, where them white men couldn't be seen by their friends. And they pulled up to the house and honked the car, honk, honk. And the black man come out and take him in and park his car. That's honky.
Wow. And women who swear that they're not 304s, watch the women who are on 304 top.
The girlies on 304 TikTok said that 90% of their clientele be our husbands, okay? I think I speak for majority of the wives on TikTok when I say, y'all could never shame us for going over there and getting a tip or two from those hoes. Baby, we out here trying to save marriages. We out here lowering the divorce rate. We out here trying to raise our babies in two-parent happy house homes. We are out here doing God's work, okay? So stop judging us because we're trying to learn how to be throat goats for our husbands, okay?
Why are you there, ma'am? What you trying to learn? Yeah, you in the game. So that's what it is. My goodness. Now they want to get shy. Oh, don't call her a hoe. White lady then came out swinging. Oh, you send me swinging. You send me swinging. Oh.
Davis, I'm going to let you speak. Robert, I'll let you speak as well.
Let me try this. I'm 34 years of age, and if I want to watch Vanessa Del Rio,
wait,
and if I want to watch a
How you know this? Brother, we see you. Yeah, we see you in real life. How you know who Vanessa Del Rio is? I was a wayward soul once. I know who that is. How you know? Yeah.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding.
Yeah, we got you. You done dropped some bombs. Debbie Does Dallas and Vanessa Del Rio. Yeah. You got some booty talk tapes somewhere. Yeah, them VHS tapes in that closet, in that little box down there. Yeah. Yeah, cop. We got you, Popo. Let's go. Let's go see what you got going on in that. Yeah. Booty Talk 2000. I know. Yeah, I know it.
Rated XXX video. I'm a grown man. I have that prerogative.
Yeah, we know. We see you. You in there? How you gonna be talking about Kim? And you out there, you know, yeah.
But you can blur out all the sexual organs all you want. I still know what's taking place. Give these children some credit. You can blur out the sexual organs, but it's still,
Hey. Whoa, brother. We don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
we don't mock or mimic. Hold on, brother. You two engulfed in that life. Yeah, you got some tapes in there. I know. You gonna say, yeah, we caught you. We caught your ass. Whoa.
Robert, what do you say? Wake up. There is no clean version. Play the music at a proper time when children are not listening. Let us be mindful of our children. They cannot rightly divide between what is reality and what is entertainment. Let us raise the village together.
What's the name of that movie there? I want to pick that one up.
Yeah, see? Yeah, what was that movie? What you talking about?
Go on. But listen, Officer Davis, they're saying that they clean up their music. You're saying that's not enough at all. Robert, what do you say?
Well, the word that caught my attention was the HO word. And again, I guess immediately I thought of what a great message for kids. I mean, I ask myself a lot of times, what causes kids to do what they're doing? I start running down the list. Now, I think generally speaking, it's not parents who give kids the values that are getting them in trouble. Generally speaking, they're not getting it from their teachers, although clearly in some cases they do. I don't think they're getting it from their churches. So that leaves two sources. One is peers and the other is culture. Now, where do their peers learn these things from? That pretty much leaves culture. So kids are learning from culture. Now, I think Officer Davis brings the point that kids can either learn something good and positive that will help them in their lives, or they can learn that it's okay to be, that H word, I guess. But I don't think that's the message that kids need to hear. And if you think that's a great message for your station...
We'll continue this argument.
Well, I mean, damn, man, it's so funny that we get to see what's going on in present day. I think women have normalized being a 304, like it's nothing. And that's why we do these, book reviews to see what women are, some of these women are listening to. It's like normalized. And they want to be accepted for doing 304 stuff, but that will never happen. Men control that. Okay? Every time I was watching a couple of videos where there will be like, I don't even know who the streamers are, but the young men who are streamers, they'll have women on their shows, right? And the guys, I think they're doing it on purpose. They're asking the women on their shows, so what do you do for a living? And the women kind of get this shy laugh. What do they call it? Blue something. But they're talking about OF. Every woman, they're kind of afraid to tell the guys who are streamers that they're OF, models or whatever. Because they know that those men will put them into a particular category. Like, hey, you useful to the group. But a lot of women want to be able to do certain things like that. And they are praying that men accept them even though they do this raunchy stuff. Ladies, I'm gonna bust your bubble right now. I don't care how long you get mad at men, how many times you try to chastise men for for saying that you should accept women even if they do OF. No, the shit ain't gonna never happen. It's gonna be some struggling simp ass dudes that's gonna take you, but for the majority of the men, that shit ain't gonna never ride. Okay? You doing anything that's showing your body you half naked, the majority of men gonna put you into the other things category. It is what it is. So don't go your happy asses out there trying to get pissed off at men. It shouldn't make a difference. It does. And you don't control how men determine that. So get used to it. If you're going to get into that game, just understand you will be slotted. And the dudes that actually don't mind you doing that, it's probably the guys that you don't want. And I'm going to be perfectly honest about that. Okay? So yeah, ain't going to change. You can't change men's mind. So I'm gonna just end that shit right now. I don't know why y'all arguing with men. Y'all should accept. Should. We.
We? We.
Who is we? No, ma'am. Let's continue.
Right after this commercial break. Just one note, by the way, Vice President Al Gore's wife, Tipper Gore, went before Congress to get sexually explicit lyrics banned. Ed Lover goes, oh, brother, we're going to get your reaction to that. Up next, we're also going to meet a writer for Rolling Stone magazine who says it takes a lot more than just sex appeal to sell music. And I will get to your comment right after this. We'll be right back, folks. We're talking about whether sex sells music today, and during the commercial break, I met the Slater family here, and there's a 10-year-old in this family, and you said that you were very struck, Mom, by watching that 12-year-old Chanel over there, so impressed with Lil' Kim. What hit you?
It hit me that
little sweet.
She was so impressed with Kim's music and the lyrics. I've listened to the CD, so I know the sexually explicit lyrics. My 14-year-old son gave me the tape and told me, "Here, Ma, I don't want it." But he has guidance. He has us in our life. And
you see that? Look, 2-parent household. What y'all see?
Guiding him. I'm thankful for that. What about the young people? Like you say, it should be up to the music industry, the radios, to not play this music. They can pick up these tapes and these CDs anywhere. They can copy them from friends, from older kids. What about the children that don't have that guidance in their life? Somebody to tell them.
If music were to blame, we would have had a generation of drug addicts. We do. From Elvis and the Beatles.
We're not blaming.
You can't just blame music. We have a whole generation of children that are being wiped out from an AIDS epidemic. Why can't you sing
music? You just can't blame
No,
music.
I'm not saying music, honey. I'm not saying just music. Okay, right now we're talking about the sexually explicit music. I'm not just saying music. Why can't we sing songs about telling people that it's not okay to go out here and open your legs to anybody and have sex with anybody?
People do that. There are plenty of records like that, but that's not, the world is not all bubblegum and candy.
No, what happened?
And if you, I gotta say that, I have children too. All right?
Correlation doesn't always mean causation, right? Fair to say? But let's see if we can make a correlation with this. Because we hear the narrative that there's a YN apocalypse going on out here, right? We heard this, our YN epidemic. We've heard this before, but if you look at the statistics, like especially with the deletion rates, it's literally like a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of, black men that are offenders or are arrested or offenders that come to the deletions, right? So we all understand that. I think it's less than 10,000 deletions total, somewhere around there. So when people say there's a YN epidemic, I think they're talking about perception. The young dudes wearing the shiesty masks, wearing hoodies and shit like that. But the overwhelming majority of those young black men aren't committing crimes. It just is what it is. You may see a couple videos, smash and grabs, kids terrorizing neighborhoods, doing certain things or whatever. But for the overwhelming majority, they're not committing crimes. So, and that's statistically, right? But we hear it all the time. Now, correlation versus causation. With this type of music, and especially for women, talking about sex all the time, how good my vagina is, what positions that I'm gonna put a guy in or whatever, it is what it is, right? We hear all this. So that's why I'm turning my attention towards the city girl epidemic. Is there a correlation between young women, black women in particular, having more sex and also having more child deletions? Because we know in the black community since 1973, from 1973 to 2023, I believe, black women have had 20 million child deletions. Okay? And that's factual. And also, black women, from the most recent numbers, from the 7.5% of their population, black women account for 39% of the child deletions. 39%. Okay, almost 40%. So is there a correlation between young black women listening to this type of music, talking about sex, over-sexualized, and they're going out there having more sex, getting pregnant, and getting child deletions? What do y'all think about that? Because I've heard the black community argue that rap has a lot to do with young black men committing crimes. Have y'all heard this argument before? Pretty sure you have. So let's introduce that argument for the city girl epidemic. Is there a correlation between the music and young black women having more sex, and in turn getting more STIs, STDs, and also child deletions? Something to think about, right? Let's continue.
I got a 13-year-old daughter. I got a 10-year-old daughter, and God bless me, last Tuesday I just had my first son.
Yeah, just like I said, I'm not going to even, because, correlation, causation, you know how those types of arguments work. People try and dismiss them, but it is a theory, because there's no way, I'm not sure. I mean, of course, we could do some self-reported surveys where we could see if that, we asked a pool or a population of black women to see if the music influenced them to have more sex. That could absolutely happen. So let's continue.
100%, and I teach them right from wrong. And until my daughter gets of age, she is not allowed to listen to Little Kim, but Kim puts a parental advisory sticker on the album.
From Mr. Slater here, and then Kim, I want to come to you, and then I know you want to say something too, Davis. Go on.
It's true that we live in a sexual society. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. But we also have to take into consideration that there are degrees in that sexual society. Point blank, we are adults. We have a right to tell these young people, you are not supposed to be listening to this. There are people who can tell you her songs and don't know their multiplication tables. Our priorities are in the wrong place.
And I bet you when you was coming up, and my mother is sitting there right behind you, there were songs that her father wouldn't let her hear because in those days it was too sexually explicit for them.
What does Lil' Kim have to say?
We get older, we grow, and it becomes more wide open.
Go on, Kim.
I just want to ask a question. Well, I just want to make a statement, really. You said, what about those that don't have guidance? Every child that's out there, because when I was in the streets, I looked up to somebody. That person, whoever I looked up to, always took responsibility in telling me what was right and what was wrong.
Well, Lil' Kim, I mean, they obviously didn't do a good enough job if they didn't influence you to stay away from this type of stuff. I mean, as being honest, I know it's you're very successful, but they didn't do a good job of telling you what right from wrong if this is the outcome. Okay, I don't think she understands that because she is successful, and she probably shouldn't. She wouldn't even accept me saying that, but that probably wasn't the right thing. They didn't tell you the right things. Okay, so let's continue.
Even though I did what I wanted to anyway.
Wait. Even though I did what I wanted to anyway.
In the streets, I looked up to somebody. That person, whoever I looked up to, always took responsibility in telling me what was right and what was wrong. But even though I did what I wanted to anyway, inside of me, I knew what was right too.
So let me clear this up. Let's talk about this. I've said this in a video before. At some point, you got to stop blaming your parents for the shit that you putting out when you older. And that's a perfect example. Because every time somebody does something crazy, it's like, man, the parents didn't do a good enough job. Brother, your parents can tell you every right move to make. Just like, being a father. When your children, and this is something for the, future dads or whatever. When your children are young, dad is the superhero. Superhero, can do no wrong. Got all the answers, climb tall buildings, save cats. Dad is the superhero. We go to dad for extra ice cream and shit. He'll shield us from getting in trouble, and I'm speaking from experience, okay? But then once those kids hit a particular time, around teenage years, dad don't know shit. He don't know nothing. Okay? But then when they get older, they be like, well, shit, dad was right. And if they're good children, then they will come back and be like, Dad, yeah, you were right. Let me get some more advice because now I understand that you were right with what you were telling me. Okay? It's just how the cycle is, man. So at certain points, if you give all your children all the knowledge and wisdom, they get out to the real world, they get influenced by other things, and next thing you know, they terrorizing, the city. And they in trouble and they go to jail. At some point, you got to cut that shit off and stop blaming the parents. Okay? Some people just turn out bad, and it has nothing to do with you teaching them right from wrong. All right? And Lil' Kim is a prime example of that.
Because
what you're doing is right.
Exactly.
What you're saying is what you're doing is right. And that's the statement.
Well, I'm not saying from where I come from, this is what I've known, this is where I've been. You know what I mean?
But when someone is looking at you, when someone is looking at you, when someone is looking at you say this, when someone is looking at you do whatever you're doing, they're watching you. That's a peer that you are their peer.
Exactly, but then it goes back to what he's saying. When you was younger and someone told you not to do something and you did it anyway.
When you were in the street, like you said you were in the street, there were times when your mother did not have control over you because of the situation that your mother was going through. If that was the case, then let's say that same young person who does not have a mother who's out there working, listening to it 97, with no guidance whatsoever. That's big problems.
Yeah. Let's bring in my next guest because some people say it's censorship if we're going to start telling what Ed can play and what he can't play and what our kids can listen to. My next guest is certainly no stranger to censorship. When Tipper Gore spearheaded congressional meetings just to censor music, she got a big old hug by Tipper Gore herself. She's a freelance journalist for Entertainment Weekly and Rolling Stone magazine, and she's the lead singer of a rock and roll band called Brain Surgeons with a new CD called Box of Hammers. I'd like you to welcome Deborah Frost. Welcome, Deborah. Deborah, you're in it from every end here. Sure do. Just talk. What is your reaction to what you've heard today?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people have really valid viewpoints. I mean, and one problem if you censor things blankly is you're just cutting it out. You're not considering the context. And that's what you've got to do. I mean, yes, sex sells. But who's buying?
Stop.
Really...
We've got to. I want to continue that point right after this. Sex sells, but who's buying? What can you do about sexually explicit music invading your home and influencing your kids? A bit about this calendar that you're in here.
Well, I didn't know the calendar was going to be put together, but when it was put together, I was very happy with it, and I love the calendar.
Okay. You are in some rather provocative positions and the rest, and that doesn't bother you.
No, because it was all about me being sexy and rebuilding my self-esteem from when I was young. And I had guys tell me I was.
Hey, and that's light compared to what's going on today. These women out here wearing lingerie, going to a nice restaurant, see-through and shit.
Ugly, I was this, I was that. I'm feeling sexy. I mean, what makes me any different than Naomi Campbell, who sometimes models topless?
You see, and this is media training. She's like, hey, y'all didn't have a problem with Naomi Campbell half naked.
Let's get back to the censorship issue because the statement that you made.
Can I make a quick comment?
Sure,
about
Robert.
Calendar? I would say I've seen some pinup calendar. I would say it's a pretty mild calendar for an adult pinup calendar, but
yeah, we know you done seen some white man, stuffy white man. You in there looking at brown sugar. We know the game.
For kids, I don't think it sends a.
Hey, there it is, man. That set it off. Everybody love that album cover.
Right message. I think, that's the main concern here. I would also say that while Lil' Kim is clothed in the calendar, certainly nothing, grossly indecent, she's striking poses.
Look at this beautiful woman. Look at her. What'd you do, Kim?
The only difference between your calendar and a typical porn calendar is that you have your clothes on. But again, for adults, it's one thing. For children, it's a different thing.
What was that reaction? You went, oh.
Well, that was a very profound point. The only difference is that she's got her clothes on.
Not much. Not much.
Man, it's light. All right.
Parental advisory sticker on that. It has a sticker on it.
sex is a part of life. I'm saying, regardless whether it's music or not, kids is gonna learn about sex. You know what I'm saying? It's the birds and the bees. They're gonna want to know how they came.
But some people
They
are
bring
afraid
in
if they hear
music.
music like what Lil Kim sings, they're gonna start having sex a little too soon.
Let me say
one thing.
Go on, Ed.
You see that? And that's why I posed the question to you guys. You see what's going on in present day with how, free these women are. Correlation, causation. Gotta look at that. All right.
Two things. First of all, I agree with Officer James Davidson. I always fight in Hot 97 all the time. I'm one of the leading people that fight for certain times of the day. I don't think certain songs should be played on the radio. I always fight about that, and I always fight to make sure the stuff that we play is as clean as possible. But when you start attacking hip-hop is nothing more than a reflection of society in which we all grew up in, all right? For me, because I stay close to my community and I know what's going on. The next thing you know, you're going after Bugs Bunny, Rob. Bugs Bunny kicked people off a cliff. Did that make little kids run out and kick people off a cliff?
What about the ROLANDA?
So you see, and once as a matter of fact, I'll find it.
Go on, James.
Let me say this, and I want to say thank you to Ed Lover. Since we've been doing this, he's always been out there fighting on the forefront with us. But just one difference. Bugs Bunny is, first of all, a cartoon character, and these are real-life people that young people emulate. But forget that. Just one other. Let me try one other thing. Just, I'm not here to pick on Little Kim again. Those calendars, these records have parental advisories on it. She's a grown adult. Adults, do what you want to do. We're not targeting adults. We're talking about the children. So remember one thing, if nothing else, it takes an entire village to raise a child. I don't have children, but all the children are mine. I don't have a family like this man, but all the children are mine. We must all take an active role in raising all the children. That young man on that street corner, that's my son. That's my brother. We must all take an active role.
And what do you say?
I think parents need to take more control of what their kids are doing and be more aware. And I also think it's hypocritical of us to just blame like Lil Kim or producers of songs. I mean, there's a demand for it, and if you don't like it, don't buy it.
There's
She's
also
not going to make a song that no one's going to buy.
Crack. There's a demand for drugs. Just because there's a demand, that does not make it right. Understand that. Just because there's a demand, that does not make it right. There's a demand for guns. There's a demand for crack. There's a demand for drugs. Just because there's a demand, that does not make it right.
What do you?
Man, they're conflating like a bunch of different arguments, but the term is inhibitory control, or it's moral disengagement versus moral restraint. But the core concept is called inhibitory control or behavioral inhibition. And it's the psychological ability to suppress impulses and urges, even when exposed to violent, graphic, or anti-social stimuli. In plain terms, you can see violence without feeling compelled to do violence. So that's what the overwhelming majority of us have. Okay? So that's why we can watch the shoot 'em ups, the kill 'em ups, or whatever, and not go out there and, hey, I'm gonna go get me a AK-47 or something and go, yeah. So, but the people who do that are crazy. Okay. So yeah, for the normal person, you can listen and watch that stuff. So, all right.
Strong analogy.
A comment for Lil Kim here. Lil Kim.
I think you're not hurting nobody. You sound good. You rap good. So do what you got to do to get paid. And don't listen to all the negative criticism.
Well, Lil Kim and Lil Caesar are going to debut and perform their sexy new single. You might want to hear this, so don't go away. We'll clean it up, though.
All right, so that's it. I can't watch the song because they got the actual song in there, get copyrighted. But yeah, so what do y'all think about that? I think that was a great conversation, and it still, rings true to this day. I mean, it applies to today, especially more than ever. I don't think there'll ever be some sort of censorship on the things that women or men rap about, but the correlation and causation might be there, and that's something that we probably need to ask young Black women in particular. Like, hey, are you influenced to be more sexually free from this type of music, listening to women talk about sex all the time, and see what they say. And if it takes you down the rabbit hole of, sex, and that's why I got pregnant, so on and so forth. Just something to think about, man.